Today, I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down a hidden sector of the market that I believe a lot of you guys are not investing in, that is in fact seeing the greatest growth right now and will likely see the greatest growth over the next year. Now, before we get into that, I did want to say a little bit about our membership program because we have had some incredible investments that have done very well. And one example is Joe Montana's PSA 10 1981 Topps that I recommended for $45,000 in our ultra high-end report on August 22nd. The last four sales are $85,000, $103,000, $95,000, $114,000, and then the most recent one is $84,000. So, you know, a great almost double in price in a span of a few months. So if you guys would like to join in on the program and make some money with us, the link is down below to sportscardsinvest.com. Definitely a lot of money to be made right now. But without further ado, we are going to hop right into the video. So what I am talking about is as the hidden sector, which I believe, you know, it's not very hidden, but at the same time, a lot of people are not allocating enough money to sealed wax. And as we're seeing right now, sealed wax is going absolutely through the roof for a lot of different sets. Now we're seeing a lot of these sets. I have a few different, I guess, like patterns that I'm seeing in the market that can kind of predict which sealed box is going to go up next. Now, as we see here, we have 2020 Bowman Baseball. This was an $832 box, went all the way up to around $1,800. It's currently around $1,500. I know the last sale is a little bit low, but this is around a $1,500 box right now. That was $800 in February. Now, this is not a one-time, you know, little box that's gone up. They're pretty much across the board, all boxes have seen great growth. Now we see a 28% growth on 2019 Bowman. Pretty much anything that has enough sales, you're going to see great growth on. Now there's 46% growth on 2020 Bowman Baseball Draft. And just overall, the market is seeing great growth. We see 36% growth on 2019 Bowman. This is not only baseball. We can go to basketball too. Check out a lot of different boxes. 2020 Prism Hobby for basketball is up 34%, and this is just in the last 3 months. So it's some great steady growth we're seeing. And as we know, you know, there's a lot of breakers out there. The breaking market is doing very well right now. We see even football up 31%. So overall, what I'm seeing right now is that the boxes that are most popular for breakers are the boxes that are seeing the most growth right now. So I think it is very smart to be buying into these new products at a certain price when you see it at a certain price. Therefore, if you hold on to it, unlike cards, which more people continue to send stuff into PSA and the supply continues to go up, unlike that, for boxes, the supply continues to go down because we see, you know, breakers opening the boxes. We see hobbyists opening these boxes, and the supply just continues to go down. And as supply continues to go down, we're seeing prices go up. And there's so many more breakers entering the scene. As we know, Drake was opening up sports card boxes. You know, of course, that's a little bit of the higher end stuff. But as we know, you know, there's just so much demand around boxes right now, breaks right now. And I think that's really going to cause a boom in sealed wax prices. Now, of course, there's a lot of boxes that have gone up, and you may be asking, what are some boxes I should get into now? Answer's simple. It's pretty much what the breakers are buying. And one example is, of course, F1 has been on the rise a lot. The popularity has grown so much, and this $2,000 box is currently more than $3,000 in the span of 3 months. So there's a lot of stuff that breakers are going into, and I think this stuff is going to continue to appreciate just because there's so much demand and the supply continues to go down. And I think that's the ultimate formula to see price increases. Now, I've been on this for quite a while. I've recommended a lot of these boxes to my members over the last few months, and I just think there's overall so much growth to be had. There's so much growth that will continue to be had. in sealed wax. Now, I personally, what I'm doing right now is I'm going for a little bit more of the higher end stuff. So I think some of the stuff that's going to see great growth as bigger fish come into the market is these very iconic sets. And I'm talking 86 Fleer, 96 Chrome, 2003 Topps Chrome for basketball. Of course, for football, I think 2017 is a very strong class that is great to hold on to. So this is the personal stuff that I'm getting into, just to kind of be clear with you guys. I definitely think we're going to see some great growth over these boxes as more celebrities and big players enter the sealed wax market and enter the breaking industry. I think there's going to be a lot of demand around these iconic sets, as we saw with Drake opening up stuff like this. So I definitely think there's a lot of room for growth there. And then also, if you're a little bit on the lower end, there's no harm, no foul for going for more of these steady kind of sets, whether it's 2017 Optic Football, which is pretty, simple with Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot of different sets in basketball that are pretty, I would say overall safe. And there's always going to be demand over them. And one of them is, of course, Zion and Ja's year. I think this is a very safe box to get into. And that is just because a lot of people are looking for the big fish, big ticket items. And of course, always going to be the newer boxes because everyone's chasing after those new rookies in every single sport, as we see with these 34% increases. Even in football, we're seeing that with the new draft class. So there's just so much demand over these new young players, young stars, and I think we're always going to see these boxes doing very well. Now, I do see a lot of baseball demand right now. I will not lie. I'm a personal basketball fanatic, but I think there's a lot of room for growth in baseball, and we're seeing that already happening with Bowman especially. I think Bowman's really, on the rise, ready to kind of take over in terms of, breakers and baseball. But I definitely think there's just so much growth overall in the sealed wax market. It doesn't really matter what you're going after as long as there's demand from the breaking side. The more demand is from breakers, the faster supply is going to go down. And as we see with some of these boxes from years back, there's hardly any sales anymore because you simply can't really find them sealed. As we see, last 3 months, 0 sales. And so that is just, recipe for success right there. We're seeing great growth. Supply on these is just super low right now. 10 sales on 2017 Prizm basketball. So I think over time, we're just going to see less and less sales. Of course, a great one to go after is 2018 Prizm basketball. I think this stuff long-term is going to do incredible, and I think there's good room for growth just because the prices haven't really started to go up too much yet. So I think that's a box that I see great growth in. But overall, do your homework. Like I said, I see great opportunity. If you want to join in on the program, we'll give out specific recommendations. But overall, there's just so many places you can make money in the sealed wax industry. So if you are a breaker or if you are just an investor, I think, holding on to these boxes is the way to go. If you have some capital, going after the higher end stuff is always going to kind of, I would say, pan out a little bit better. But overall, wherever you can throw that money in sealed wax, I think it's hard to go wrong right now with the amount of demand from breakers and with the supply just going down and down and down. But I really hope this video kind of helped you guys out. I hope it shined light to the, sealed wax industry. I know there's a lot of people who are just investing in slabs, and I think there's great room for growth if you can invest in sealed wax as well, at least kind of diversify a little bit. I think is smart. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the program and on the YouTube. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.